welcome. You're listening to Sports Econ 101, the show where we discuss sports topics from a business perspective. I'm your host, Edward Brown, along with my co-host, Vern of CBS affiliate KPIX-TV in San Francisco.
Happy to bring December in.
Yeah. Well, end of November.
Yeah,
close enough. Bruce McGowan is off today, and this show, at every commercial break, we're going to be asking a sports trivia question where we're giving away a free vacation to the first three emails with the correct answer. Vacations are not sponsored by the radio station, but by Lighthouse Resort and Marina. Vacations are free. Their only request is a $75 cleaning fee to cover those housekeeping expenses. Check them out at lighthouseresortandmarina.com. And today's trivia theme is the college gridiron.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, we're still in the
also known as the college football field. Yep.
Close enough. Yeah. In fact, this year, isn't this the first year they're coming out with
first year of the playoff system? And man, they really did get it right. I mean, because every weekend there's some kind of shake-up. There's some kind of new development. Everybody's just scratching to get into one of the top four teams for when the actual tournament begins. So they hit a home run with this one. I mean, it's great that the playoffs are finally here.
Oh, I think it's great too, because it's like there's too many teams out there, and everyone's vying for number one. And well, if you didn't play too hard a team, but you're 12-0 or something, it just doesn't mean the same. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of fun stuff to cover.
The only guys I feel bad for are guys like Marshall University. They're undefeated, but their strength of schedule, they have no shot of even being having a sniff at even being in the top 10. Really?
Do they even get into a bowl?
They'll go to a bowl.
Yeah.
They'll go to the Sports Econ 101 bowl, something like that.
Hey, they should be honored to go to the Sports Econ 101 bowl.
Yeah. They'll accept the appearance money. Sure, why not? But
but I don't know. It costs. Remember how we talked about that before? It actually costs the team quite a bit because you have to send all the players. And, it actually gets expensive. We were wondering sometimes if they are not better off not accepting.
Yeah, but the big boy bowls.
Oh yeah, for sure.
BCS
and all.
Oh yeah, you take care of it.
All right, stay with us because you're listening to Sports Econ 101. We're going to be getting right back into all of our articles here. Stay with us.
Yeah, the latest rankings come out today at 4:30. Everybody suspects it's going to be Oregon, Alabama. Oregon, Alabama, Florida State, and maybe Mississippi State.
Oh yeah, that's right. They were
because of the close game. I mean, if you want to be fair and balanced, I mean the Mississippi State's loss to Alabama was so close that it would trump Texas Christian's eked out win over Kansas.
Yeah. Did they do it by computer or they do how much?
No, there's a committee. There's like 12 people on this committee.
Yeah. From my alma mater.
From all different backgrounds. Even Condoleezza Wright is on this committee.
Well, apparently though she knows football.
Yeah. Well, it's more than that. I mean, they look at the strength of schedule. They look at they look at everything before they finally come out with it.
All right, here we go. Sports Econ 101 is back, and of course our audience is with us. I'm Edward Brown, your host, along with Vern.
Greetings.
Bruce McGowan is
America, how are you?
We're very fine.
Yeah.
Thanks for asking.
Good.
Okay, so let's start off with the NBA.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, this article came out over a month ago, but I thought it was kind of interesting still. So the NBA owners losing money, and the players are saying crying poverty is not going to help. So
NBA owners losing money. Can you say that? Can you say that in the same sentence?
I know.
I didn't think that was possible.
But
I don't believe it.
Apparently it is. So the NBA commissioner
they may be losing some money, but they're all earning money. So some are earning more than others.
So it's sort of like the federal government. If they don't earn $1 billion this year, they only earn $900 million. They say you lost.
Well, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so Adam Silver's recent declaration that roughly a third of the teams are still losing money.
I can see that on the smaller market teams that don't win. I can understand that.
Okay.
But
like the Cincinnati Royals.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a while ago.
Yeah.
Okay. So the NBA, obviously the players are saying no, that's not going to work this time. So it says here, it defies common sense. We know what the franchise values are.
That's true.
I don't have to say $2 billion again, do I? But here's the question. See, what it's worth and spending are two different things. right? I mean, you can't. It's like if you got this. If it's worth $2 billion, but you're losing.
You're talking about the Clippers, like they just sold for $2 billion.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Now they probably aren't losing money on a cash flow basis. You know, their income less their expenses are still positive.
No, because they still pack them in every night. They still have star appeal.
Yeah.
And it's a good basketball team.
Yeah, you're still getting the TV
exactly.
contracts. Okay.
Yep.
But,
very marketable.
But the thing is, if you've got a team,
they're the best team in Los Angeles by far.
By far, yes. Good boy. Could you, in our lifetime, do you ever think that you would be able to say that?
Where I would like really, because I go back to it's the same old paper clips, you know, just a losing franchise. But now it's not even close.
Well, it's because the Lakers are unfortunately doing so badly. But I guess what I'm getting at here is that, you know, if you have a team that's worth, you know, let's say $800 million by its value, but from an income less the expenses, they're losing money. You can't just say, well, yeah, but you're worth $800 million. I mean, you can't spend that unless you sell it.
True.
Unless you sell it. So they had here. So another element of Silver's news conference at the Board of Governors meeting. Silver's idea of artificially lowering the future salary cap to incrementally raise payroll spending. All right. They said the idea is referred upon as smoothing the salary cap rise upon the influx of the NBA's $24 billion media deal. So his idea apparently is to make a shortfall payment directly to the union, and they would then distribute that money, presumably, proportionately to the players.
And is the union going to buy that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess that's a big question.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, let's talk about it. Who does Abbott and Silver work for? He works for the owners.
Yeah. It says, I'm suspicious of any proposal where the model is based upon artificial decreases of compensation that an individual player can negotiate. Okay, so there we go. You get the free market system out of there, right?
If I'm head of the NBA Players Union, I would say, forward that proposal to me. I want to take a look at that.
I want to take a look at it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Historically, when salary has gone up for some time, it has gone up for all. Or excuse me, not some time. Historically, when salary has gone up for some, it has gone up for all.
That's true.
And that makes sense. So if you're not a free agent now, you may be one the next year when the salary cap remains high.
No doubt about it. The NBA is richer, has more money than it ever has before. It is so popular. It's worldwide. I mean, there's thoughts of scheduling games all over the world, regular season.
Yeah.
So I applaud really David Stern for what he's been able to do in marketing this. I know to a degree the NHL commissioner who used to work for the NBA was trying to do the same thing with the NHL and it didn't quite translate. But the basic Adam Silver is just kind of taking the keys to the expensive car and just continue to just take it in for its service, its maintenance, and to keep it going.
Well, you got international appeal.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you got Tony Parker from France, right? You know,
it's a high percent. It's a high percentage. Right? I think it.
30%.
Yeah, almost a third of the NBA. Foreign-born players.
Yeah, pretty amazing.
That's great. Terrific.
Yeah, I know. I think it's great for the world. Okay, so last week we had talked a little bit about Kobe, you know, but we didn't get into it enough. So I want to get into this for a little bit. So he's making the number one salary at $23.5 million, and he's age 36.
Yep.
Amari Stoudemire is number 2, and he's making 23.4, so a little bit under. You've got here, so he's 32. Okay, then you've got Carmelo. He's number 4, and he's making 22.4, so it's still a little bit less. At age, and he's age 30. Dwight Howard at age 29, he's making $21 million. So you see the pattern. The older you are, the higher the salary. So I should be making about $200 million a year.
Well, the Lakers on the 2-year extension to Kobe, that was kind of a lifetime achievement award. You know, thanks for your service. We've made so much money, even though we're the second winning team in our own town. We're still the Lakers. We're still Showtime. We still have that worldwide appeal. And Kobe is the face of the franchise. So they can pay him $23.5 million without even sweating, because between the TV money and the marketing money, the merchandising coming in, just covers all of that and then some.
Quick little thing before we go to break here. Can anyone catch the Arizona Cardinals? now.
Sure.
Carl,
Yeah. They're going
Carson
to.
is out for the ACL problem. ACL.
Carson Palmer, yeah. But Drew Stanton, the quarterback, he's a very good quarterback, and they're coming off a game with Seattle. I mean, they've got some tough ones ahead. They still have to play the 49ers again. They're not going to get, they're not going to get through the regular season with just the 1 or 2 losses. I mean, they're if I'm them, they want to do whatever they can to be the number 1 seed when the playoffs begin, because if they're able to host a bunch of home games all throughout, that might be a way to get into the Super Bowl. By the way, where's the Super Bowl this year? It's in Arizona.
Yeah. It could be the home.
I don't know if the host team has ever hosted.
Well, it came close.
Came close with Arizona. Yeah. But
it's not exactly the same. And it's funny. A lot of people forgot, I think, that the Cardinals almost beat Pittsburgh, and had it not been for the interception at halftime that got run back, where Kurt Warner, all he had to do was just push the guy out of bounds, and that would have been the end of it, but he couldn't tackle him. And what happened? Pittsburgh got a touchdown out of that. And, even though Fitzgerald made a fantastic catch, there was one more catch made by Pittsburgh to win the game.
Well, they ran out of time. You got to play 60 minutes, and Arizona probably needed 65. Wasn't there.
Next time.
Yeah.
Next time. Okay, so we're going to cut to our first commercial break here, and the trivia theme is the college gridiron.
Okay.
As you so formally put it.
Take me to the gridiron.
Gridiron, yes.
Yep.
Football field. All right, so here's our first trivia question. Which Heisman Trophy winner was also a first-round NBA draft choice? Good one, huh?
First-round NBA play. First-round draft pick. He was actually drafted, or?
Yes, he was so he won the Heisman Trophy.
Won a Heisman Trophy.
And then he was the first-round NBA.
He was a first-round draft
choice. Okay. The first 3 emails with the correct answer win a free 3-day, 2-night stay at the Lighthouse Resort. Email Edward at sportsecon101.com the answer to this question. Which Heisman Trophy winner was also a first-round NBA draft choice? All right.
Chew on that for a while, America.
Yeah. And the thing is, if you can't remember and I tell you, you're gonna go, oh yeah, that's right. Okay.
Okay.
So stay with us because you are listening to Sports.
The ears are coming out of my smoke's coming out of my ears here.
Yeah, and if Bruce was here, he'd probably know this, but he's out, that rascal.
Me.
So he's on vacation, as they say. All right, stay with us. Sports Econ 101. We'll be right back. That's funny because I thought it was one person, and then when I found out the answer, I said, "Oh yeah, that's right." The year was 18. No.
Really? Was he?
No. Heisman was.
They started handing him out in 1935 with the.
All right, here we go. Sports Econ 101 is back. Edward Brown here, and Vern has got his hand on his cheek. I've got
I'm trying to think of this
question here. Okay, so here was the trivia question. Which Heisman Trophy winner was also first-round NBA draft choice? And I started doing the boom. Okay, now let me give you the year. 1994.
1994.
Does that help? Okay, now I'll give you the NBA team, the New York Knicks. Come on, bring it to me. Come on, you know. You got 2, 1. I got to give you the answer.
I got nothing, man.
Charlie Ward.
Charlie Ward, that's right.
Right. See, I told
that's
you.
Right. It was a guard. Yeah. That's
right.
right. Very
I
good.
like that one.
Very good, Edward.
Okay, so this is totally way off the gridiron here.
Out of left field.
This is out of left field.
Hang on to something.
Okay, I was reading. I got to say that I get a lot of my topics from Yahoo Sports and from Sports Illustrated.
What about Deadspin? You ever go there?
No, I haven't.
That's another good resource.
Deadspin.
A lot of producers in television go to Deadspin
Okay, I'm gonna look at
to
that.
come up with a lot of their topics.
Okay, so this thing's called, the title of this article is Prison Break. And basically, you're talking about bull riding, prisoners in bull riding. And these guys, it's dangerous. You know, these guys are riding these bulls.
You're talking to the 1995 media bull riding champion from the Grand National Rodeo when it came to the Bay Area.
Okay, tell us a story. I don't know about this.
You don't know that? You don't
I
know this one?
I don't know this one.
You know, in fact, it's all over YouTube, America. The Grand National Rodeo came to the Cow Palace and in San Francisco, and they were inviting media members to come down to learn how to ride a bull.
Okay.
And those who seemed to kind of get it right away were invited to compete in a bull riding competition during the Grand National Rodeo.
Wow.
And this was 1995, and the bull's name was Body Bag, and
That's a little scary.
And I stayed. Everybody else fell off, and I stayed up the longest.
How long did you stay up?
Almost 8 seconds. Almost.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah. Well, with the pros, it's got to be a minimum of 8 seconds. Minimum.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I mean, gosh darn it.
8 seconds. 8 seconds hits. Horn goes off, and then the ride is over. Then it's all subjective as to the style points you had in the ride. Exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
But it's a dangerous thing, man. I mean, I've seen guys stomped on, gored. It's
And you stayed on for almost 8 seconds, and then he threw you off, right?
And then
And did the clowns come out and all that kind of fun?
Clowns came out. Yeah. Later, in another story, I was a rodeo clown.
Okay.
And I was right behind a clown called Charlie Too Tall West, and he was hiding in like some kind of contraption in the barrel, and I was right behind the barrel, and this bull came right at us, and I wasn't taking any chances, and this is back in the days when I could run, and I took off and I just ran to like the sidelines, and somebody had opened a trap door, but I didn't wait for that. I jumped over the railing, just to get away from this bull.
Yeah, I gotta say that's a little scary. I can only imagine.
Oh yeah, it's scary. Yeah, but it's thrilling. I mean, I can understand why guys go down to the running of the bulls at Pamplona. I get that. I get that.
I don't think your wife would be too happy if you did that.
Well, no. Well, I was married at the time.
Yeah. No, but if you do it now.
I wouldn't do it now.
I want to go back to my glory days.
I'm not blessed with a set of fast wheels anymore, and I just no.
Especially when they sharpen the horns.
Yeah.
Okay. So these guys are basically okay. So these are prisoners, and I guess they get off for good behavior type of thing. And apparently this thing has grown to like 70,000 spectators. This thing is huge.
Where is this?
Where is this? It's Angola prison. Where is Angola prison?
In the country of Angola?
Yeah, no, it's in America here, but Angola Prison Rodeo, and apparently it's almost like the gladiators, of old, because they watch these guys get just smoked. I mean, I don't know how many. I don't think these guys are as good as you, staying on as long as they did.
Wow,
that's pretty amazing. So I thought that was kind of fun. Okay, let's see what else. Giancarlo Stanton.
Mr. the $300 million man.
Can you imagine?
By the way, it's in Louisiana.
Louisiana, okay. 25-year-old National League MVP runner-up, Miami Marlins, baseball prodigal franchise.
Took the fastball to the face and got pieces of his face broken up. But boy, he got paid for it today.
Well, you know what? That was one of my points I was going to bring up. Is that it just reminded me a little too much of Tony Conigliaro.
Oh yeah,
66 or 67, and then he was never the same. Now, Giancarlo.
Boston Red Sox.
Yeah.
Yep.
Boy, and I remember seeing pictures of him. Oh, it's a scary. If you ever want to go to the internet and punch in Tony Conigliaro, the app.
There it is.
So it's scary looking. So here he gets the richest contract in sports history.
What was it? 312.
313
years.
13 years.
13 years.
25.
Wow.
So he can keep him through 2027 when he's approaching his 38th birthday. So the Marlins agreed to include a no-trade clause and an opt-out opportunity after 6 years. He will earn $68,000 a day, and that's versus the median income of the U.S. worker of $53,000.
Well, that franchise is struggling. I mean, it's a tough sell in Miami. I mean, the numbers quickly dropped off after the new stadium opened and after they had managerial problems and player problems. The team wasn't winning, and Miami likes a winner, and it's right adjacent to Little Havana. So I mean, from the franchise, to a degree, was kind of doomed from the get-go. But from when they opened that new stadium, so they have to do what they can to try and have some kind of star on there that can be some kind of a draw, and they just could not afford to let Giancarlo Stanton go.
Yeah,
I mean, they're
325. I mean, listen, he's one of the great young players like a Mike Trout, but 325.
yeah, but it's not. Yeah, but Edward, he's not going to be there. He's not going to be there that long. He's not going to be a Marlin until he's 38. He's going to move on to at least 2 other teams.
Well, it says if they agree to include a no trade clause, then how does that work?
The team will be losing.
Okay.
The team will be hemorrhaging money. They'll go to Giancarlo Stanton and go, "Hey, look, man, we're dying here. I mean, this isn't good for business. We really need you to consider the fact that being dealt, to another team. It'll probably be a winning team,
They'll pick up his contract.
that will pick up at least some of the contract. A lot of teams will pay part of the contract, maybe not all of it, but some will pay part of it.
The Marlins will pay the rest, or is it possible they renegotiate that to where he gets less?
Rework. I don't know. You never want to give back money, so that's not happening. That's when the agent really has to do his job or her job. But that's probably what's going to happen. Something will happen. Red Sox, Yankees, somebody they'll have a need, and they'll bring Stanton in, and they'll pay a lot of the freight because they can afford to do it without even blinking.
I'm trying to remember after he got hurt. I don't remember how long he was hurt. When he came back, what were his stats like?
I'm not sure. He did not. I don't think he came back and played again.
That's what I was thinking.
He never. That was it. His season was over. That's why he was the leading candidate for the MVP at the time that he was hit.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. That's my big concern here is what happens if he comes back and he's a little gun shy because you get hit in the face
because the indications is that he was going to have the prognosis was good. He was going to have a speedy recovery. His vision wasn't going to be affected or anything like that.
Yeah, but there's the mental game part. I mean, he's got to get in there and get right back into the box.
Yeah, but think of the message you're sending your player if you turn and go, well, you're damaged goods. All of it like that? Team's going to turn their back on you just like that?
Well, yeah, but to offer the highest in history?
Well, hey, they're the ones that did it.
I mean, they could have offered him, $15 million for 1 year and just say, hey, we'll see how it goes and we'll give you a bonus. If you hit over 330, we'll give you, another $10 million or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's a huge risk on their part. Huge risk.
Well, okay. if they don't do it, and you lose him, and he prospers somewhere else, then you know how management is. They don't like to look bad, and even when they look bad, they never admit to a mistake. So the egos being the way they are,
Right. Changing topics again here. Spurs hire female assistant coach.
Yeah, Becky Hammond. Yeah, just saw her. Great. I think it's
not just a publicity stunt.
No, hell no. But she's very talented, knows the game, knows the ins and outs, practices with the team. She's a coach on the floor, and now she's being groomed by arguably the best coaching staff that there is in the NBA.
Now, to be eventually a head coach?
Oh, I'm sure that's what she wants.
Yeah. Now, do the guys?
I would not in the NBA, but yeah, to eventually become a head coach.
Have you talked to the other players? I mean, how do you think? Are they totally respected?
It's the same collection of players that were there in 2002. So these guys, they don't care. I mean, just as long as they get their touches and they're winning games and they're winning championships.
Okay. Fair enough.
What's the problem?
Okay, fair enough.
In fact, Steve Kerr, the new Warriors coach, because the Warriors suffered their first loss of the season to the Spurs.
Yeah.
And he said, well, I retired in 2002 from the Spurs.
Yep.
And I looked down to the other side of the floor, and I saw the same collection of coaches with the same big three players that I played with in 2002, and they're still doing it.
Still there. All right, so moving on, we're going to have to cut to our second commercial trivia question break here. What Big 8 team lost only one conference game in the entire decade of the 1950s? And we're talking the college gridiron. All right.
I got a guess.
Got a guess? Okay, stay with us. Sports Econ 101. We'll be right back.
He can opt out of his contract after the first 6 seasons.
Okay. Yeah, I think I saw that part.
He'd walk away from 218.
It'd be hard to walk away from that kind of money.
He agreed to a heavily backloaded contract structure that will pay him just $30 million over the first 3 seasons.
$10 million a year. Yeah, that's the thing.
There's all kinds of magic you can work with a contract.
Deferred comp and all this.
Stanton's salaries over the first 3 seasons will be 6.5, 9, and 14.5.
Okay. All right, that makes a little bit more sense.
He can again opt out of his contract after the 2020 season, following the year he turns 30.
All right, ready?
So if you look at it, Sports Econ 101, the Marlins are only on the hook for $107 million over 6 years, the first 6 years of the deal.
Okay.
So I mean that's so you peel back the onion, there it is.
Isn't Steve Young still collecting from the USFL?
No.
Nope.
That was an annuity.
Okay, here we go. Sports Econ 101 is back. Edward Brown, Vern Glenn, your host here. Here was the second trivia question. What Big 8 team, we're talking college football here, lost only one conference game in the entire decade of the 1950s?
I'm going to guess Oklahoma.
You are correct. Those Sooners, baby.
Bud Wilkinson. Yes.
Good job. Last week we stumped you with pool, so this time college, but that was good.
Thank you.
Very impressed.
Thank you.
Yeah, maybe.
No hesitation, no notes, just boom.
Boom, you know it. Okay, so, we're talking about Giancarlo Stanton's his huge contract, which, by the way, go ahead and give
Well,
a little bit better.
well, it's a contract that's backloaded. So for his first 3 seasons of his contract, he gets $30 million. In fact, next year we earn 6.5. It's 9 the next year, and then it's 14.5 the other year. So, and he can opt out of the whole contract after 6 seasons, which would only have the Marlins on the hook for $107 million over 6 seasons. So if you really look at it, I mean, the numbers are staggering. It's like, oh my God, $325 million, But if you really look at it, I mean, they're not paying him a whole lot now. I mean, they're but he did that so that the Marlins would have more money to spend on other players.
He's a good-looking guy. You think some women are going to be interested in him?
That could be for another show, but it doesn't matter whether it's baseball, hockey, or the NFL.
Sure.
I am staggered by the amount of women that know where the team stays, where the players like to go eat, or just where they can go to get that 5-second come hither stare from across the room. That's what they're looking for. To have that initial, it is amazing. You should, I mean, and the lines. I mean, just the lines, just waiting in the family and friends like holding area at stadiums. I mean, they're there too. Just waiting for a shot, man. It is amazing. That's why a lot of guys have aliases at the team hotel, so they can't be found.
Yeah.
What would your alias be?
Well, Big Ed wouldn't work.
Big Ed, no.
Well, I used to have someone asked me what my sign was, I said slippery when wet. That didn't work. Okay.
I think I would go with Alfred E. Newman as my alias if I didn't want to be found at a hotel.
No, I'm going to take your fantasy team, Saltless Nuts.
Saltless, Mr. Nuts. Yes.
That's like, I love that.
I'm salty.
Yeah. Okay, so I was just reading this also in our favorite Sports Illustrated that the LA Kings, and I'm going to guess it was a little bit of careless bookkeeping.
Defending the NHL champions.
They missed their salary cap. They went over.
So they have to pay a luxury tax for going over?
It's not as much that as it was trying to get another player in, and they couldn't because they were over.
Okay.
Guess how much they were over by?
A couple million. I don't know.
$160.
Wow.
That's what it says here. So this is, again, from our favorite Sports Illustrated.
They could have passed the hat around, Edward, around the office.
Yeah. Well, it's just, okay.
Wow.
The $160 amount by which the Kings were over the NHL $69 million salary cap last week, preventing them from calling up a defenseman for a game last Saturday against Vancouver. Can you imagine that? I think that bookkeeper will probably get fired. I thought this was kind of fun, too.
Well, who caught the mistake? The league?
It doesn't say. It doesn't say in this. Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know who caught the mistake. So I thought this was kind of fun too. Right above that article, a little note was 178 yards combined on one play. So in last Saturday's, again, this is going a couple weeks ago, Utah, Oregon. Do you remember the Utes wide receiver, Kalen Clay, appeared to score a 79-yard TD, but dropped the ball on the 1 yard.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, right? we ran that as a highlight. Yeah.
And the Ducks player recovers it, fumble, and
ran back the other way. Ran 99 yards for a touchdown.
You know, for as little as guys actually get, with playing time and making a big play and getting a touchdown, how can a guy be so careless?
Because he had no one in front of him, no one behind him. It was a clear touchdown. He was like high stepping. I mean, and normally these guys, they hit the end zone. Normally they drop the ball, which is almost like a rapper dropping the mic. When he's done with his performance. Okay. And that's what he was thinking. But he
why don't you wait till you get past
drop the ball to the 2 yard? Well,
I that would drive me. I mean, I can't imagine what a coach would tell him.
I wouldn't say it was probably not a thinking man's game at that point. He was just thinking, Sports Center, baby, hey man,
on Sports
Center.
Yeah,
hey, he did. He did.
Okay, not only that, but you guys covered him on Channel 5 and everywhere else. Okay. So, also reading this poor guy here, estimated value $2.4 million of sports memorabilia collection when he was killed. Let's see, he was killed and his collection destroyed when a plane crashed into his suburban Buffalo home.
Oh man!
So apparently his family reached an undisclosed settlement, but it's like, gosh, if I had $2.4 million.
Some of that stuff is priceless, though. That that was
in a safe deposit box. That's kind of ridiculous. Okay, and then here.
Yeah, but maybe it was so much stuff it didn't fit in a safety deposit box.
Well, that's true. Then you got to get.
I've seen entire rooms of condos just as a shrine to, whatever sports memorabilia. Dusty Baker's home. He's got bats and uniforms encased in glass with nice recessed lighting in there. I mean, that stuff can't fit in a safety deposit box.
No, and I guess that kind of stuff. I guess you want to display.
I mean, there's so much of it. Yeah.
So now there was another Sports Illustrated article about a possible LA team, and let's talk about where teams would go. So it says here, escape to LA. So
the St. Louis Rams lease is up.
Yep.
They have told the city that here's our list of demands to improve and the city is fired back saying, well, we just cannot make these demands. So the prevailing feeling is that they're gone somewhere. And I'm hearing that there's more and more momentum for that team to return to Los Angeles after however many years it's been.
Play in the Rose Bowl, or where would they play?
They would play in the Coliseum. Yeah, they play in the Coliseum just like they did before.
Yeah. When did that start? 2016.
Started the lease is up, so it'd be wow. 2015.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, how could you not have a team in LA? I still don't understand that. And they have to vote on it and all that kind of stuff. But
Well, there's that, and I think there's a lot for a while. There was a lot of people that say they didn't want a new team because in a market like that, in a TV market like that, you always get the best games. So they knew whatever new team would come in, if it was an expansion team, the team was going to suck.
you know,
And so and you would that market would only be obligated to show that one team on television, and no other, and without any of the other national
come
games.
on. Change the rules.
Just saying, man. Just saying.
Well, so they brought up.
They should change the blackout rule. They should lift that.
They should.
That's an old one that should go away. But they kind of drag their feet on that.
So they also brought up about our favorite Jacksonville Jaguars. Because playing in Florida that's always kind of tough. So they talked about why
the Jags
why
moving
they
on.
go or why they
Jags can move on. The Raiders can move on.
The Raiders were the other one, and they also have the Chargers here. Said for the Chargers, the team already has Southern California all to itself.
They do.
But it could upgrade from the number 28 media market to number 2.
Mm-hmm. That's Los Angeles.
Okay. All it would cost is less than $20 million to get out of its year lease at Qualcomm
Stadium. I was just there. Yeah.
Now they said they have a little.
They once upon a time they were the Los Angeles Chargers.
That's right. In the early '60s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now they said why they'd stay. So for the Chargers, owner Dean Spanos said that 25 to 30% of the team's local revenue comes from LA. So you get people coming all the way down. Chargers may not want to get apathetic Angelinos to care more about the NFL. Yeah, and San Diego's such a nice place to play. The weather is always good.
It's always, isn't it amazing? It's always 75, 76, blue skies all the time.
Love that.
Amazing.
Now the Raiders, they were in LA once before, and when they came back to Oakland.
When I was at the Charger game, there was, I would say, maybe almost, I would say it was half the stadium for Raider fans, but there was a lot of, it was a big draw for a lot of, there was a lot of silver and black in the stands.
Okay. Well, a lot of times it's just because it's within the same division.
But the Raiders in Los Angeles for so long. They still have a huge following.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
They were there for 82 to 94.
Yeah.
That was a long time.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because that's when the Niners were really good, so it was very easy for people to do a crossover. Of course, most people were Niners fans anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Then for the Jaguars, they say mediocre attendance and TV ratings suggest the franchise isn't growing. The Jags are already being taken out of Jacksonville once a year to play in London. And then it says here now why they'd stay. They don't have an opt-out clause on their stadium lease, which runs through 2030.
Wow.
Yeah.
They don't have the money to get out of that deal.
No.
They're there to stay. And the bad thing about that market is they have a hard time getting television games on in the market because of that blackout rule. You have to have a sold out home game within 72 hours of kickoff. If you don't, then the blackout rule is installed, which means it wouldn't be on local TV for a 100-mile radius. And that's throughout the league.
And now I don't know. It doesn't say here how many fans they get, but I wonder how.
I'm sure the numbers are small. It's a porous football team. They got Blake Bortles, pretty good quarterback, but he's still learning how to play.
Well, what about Tampa Bay? They're not on this list here, but how big is their?
Tampa Bay got a huge following, and they've won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, that definitely helps.
And they and they have staying power. Even this is 12 years after the fact, they still have that staying power. As a former Super Bowl champion. Jacksonville, not so much.
It's interesting because I was thinking with baseball, Florida Marlins did really well, but Tampa Bay, they made the one World Series, but they can't seem to draw people for baseball.
Not at the Trop. No, it's not. Have you been there?
No.
It's indoors. Looks like a big old opera house. It's not really conducive for baseball, but but there's no other place to really play these games.
All right, fair enough. Tell you what, let's cut to our third and final.
Let's
break.
do it.
Okay. And what's our theme? Our trivia theme? Do you remember?
College gridiron.
College gridiron. You got the memory of an elephant. Who was the first college player to gain more than 6,000 career rushing yards?
The first.
First.
Which means it's been done several times after that.
I'm going to guess.
Okay.
Because we're only asking about the first one.
6,000 Can I have an era as a hint?
Yeah. I would say it's not in the 1960s and before. It's not.
It's not before the 1960s.
Yeah. So take 1970 going forward.
70 up. Okay.
Yeah.
6,000. Okay. All right. Okay. All right.
And the first 3 emails with the correct answer are going to win a free 3-day, 2-night stay at the Lighthouse Resort.
6,000 career yards.
Rushing yards. Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. All right.
We're just talking college.
All right.
So who was the first college football player to gain more than 6,000 career rushing yards? All right. And make sure you email Edward at sportsecon101.com the answer to that question. And don't touch that dial because Sports Econ 101 will come back with some closing comments. It's been a pretty fast show this time.
It is. Good pace.
Excellent. We'll be back. Okay, quite nice and quick.
Did you bring the scooter over? Or
I did.
You did.
Had to get it fixed. Broke down on me too. Saturday was tough. It cost me $95 to get it towed.
Wow.
You know, because I didn't have a pickup truck. It was on a Saturday. And AAA says, no, we don't.
We don't really do scooters.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I go, just, we'll bring you a flatbed. This is the easiest kind.
And I went, nope, sorry, sir.
Sorry, sir. Yeah,
You're SOL.
that's it.
Here's a cracker. Just eat it.
Thank you, sir. Might have another.
We'll put your situation on a cracker so you can eat it. Yeah.
Here we go. Welcome back to Sports Econ 101. Last time for this show, I'm Edward Brown, your host, along with my co-host, Vern Glenn of Channel 5, KPIX TV.
That's correct.
CBS affiliates.
CBS 5.
In San Francisco. Here was our third and
Live, local, late breaking.
There you go. I like that.
Eyewitness news.
Who was the first college football player to gain more than 6,000 career rushing yards?
I am going to guess Archie Griffin.
Oh, because he was Heisman Trophy winner.
Back to back. Yes. I just figured I ran the ball all the time. Ohio State. That would be my guess.
Okay. That would have been a good guess if it was correct.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Okay. Now I do remember him playing for Pitt.
Oh, Tony Dorsett.
Tony Dorsett.
Anthony Dorsett.
There you go. A little Howard Cosell from.
Here's a little thing for you in the audience. He is related to Lisa Salters, who does sideline reporting for Monday Night Football.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Cousins? Or?
They are cousins.
Very good.
Yeah. And she too went. Oh no, she went to Penn State.
Penn State. Oh, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Okay, here's our thoughts for the day. An NFL lineman can shed up to 9 pounds of water weight during a game.
Oh, I believe that. Oh yeah.
That's amazing. And
you go give 60, 70 plays a game? Sure.
That's a lot of water.
Mm-hmm.
And in 1978, DC Comics put out a Superman versus Muhammad Ali comic book.
Wow.
In a sparring match, Superman gets a butt whipping by trash talking Ali. Yeah, right.
Superman tried to trash talk Muhammad Ali?
No, Muhammad Ali trash talks Superman. And then whips him.
And then whoops him. Whoop him. Superman, you ain't got I'm a great all time.
I'm gonna sing like a bee.
Yeah.
Sing like a bee.
Yeah, I'm a robo-dope you. Get you tired.
And that's all it took. It's down for the count. All right, tune in next week to Sports Econ 101. Why? Because we're going to be discussing sports topics from a business perspective.
I got some kryptonite. I'm going to put it in my boxing gloves. Beat you over the head with it.
Thanks for listening. On behalf of our team, I'm your host, Edward Brown. We'll see you next week.
Good night, America.
So long. You do that very well, actually.